Hey guys, today we're making 9 April 2022 movies. We're just going to start off with Morbius. Well, I can appreciate what Sony was trying to do, mix the comic book genre with the horror genre. Upcoming new Clayface movie. See a review on that later on. The end result is it feels like there were like multiple producing room and they were like, let's make it a character development, let's do this, let's do that. And they just couldn't decide, so they mixed all their ideas together. And that's what this movie feels like. It also tries to tie in this whole Sony Spider-Man universe they're trying to come up with. And I just hate Jared Leto as an actor. So, congratulations, this is the movie that gets the Ben treatment. Yeah. Next up is Memory, the Liam Neeson action thriller directed by Mark Hamill, who did Casino Royale a few years ago, and that was pretty good. So I was like, a guy who did a pretty good action movie, team with a guy who's done way too many of them, seemed like a good idea. But the whole premise of this movie is basically a guy who's an assassin, he has Alzheimer's. That sounds like a good premise, but it gets sidetracked because there's just so many subplots to the point where I was just like, what's going on in this movie? Action scenes were pretty nice and enjoyable. Some moments were like, oh, that's intense. But overall, it's just kind of forgettable. C tier. Next up is Fantastic Beasts: Secrets of Dumbledore. Now this, in my opinion, was a really good return of form for the Wizarding World franchise. I'm not the biggest fan of Harry Potter. I've seen at least all the Harry Potter movies once. I had to rewatch Fantastic Beasts movies just for this video. First Fantastic Beasts movie, really good. Go watch it. Crimes of Grindelwald. But Fantastic Beasts: Secrets of Dumbledore was really good. And when it comes to Fantastic Beasts, they've always kind of had like two things. Like, first one was about Newton finding Fantastic Beasts. Stuck to that premise perfectly. Second one, Crimes of Grindelwald. Really was like shit back and forth between Newton finding Fantastic Beasts and Crimes of Grindelwald, even though the title is called Crimes of Grindelwald. This one was like, we want to be about Crimes of Grindelwald. So at least they stuck to that throughout the rest of the movie. Also, it's kind of like a spy Nazi thriller in the Wizarding World, and I thought the guy who played Grindelwald this time was better than Johnny Depp. I'm not criticizing Johnny Depp, I just thought he did a better job. And this is easily the best Fantastic Beasts movie. And I'm sad we're not going to get any more. A tier. Next up is Ambulance, the Michael Bay action thriller. It's about two guys who rob a bank and things don't go as planned, and so they have to hijack an ambulance. They get chased all throughout LA, and it's just nonstop action from beginning to end. I don't think I ever really got bored watching it, which was really interesting. And the shots, the drone, the camera work, the drones, it's like all incredible, considering the budget was just $40 million. So if you want a movie that's like gonna turn off your brain for an hour and a half, for an hour and 15 minutes, this movie will certainly do that. A tier. Next up is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Now, I was really excited for this movie. I actually wanted to see it its opening weekend, but I had to do something else. I was able to see it the other weekend with my mom, and this movie was an upgrade from Sonic 1, but still had some flaws to it. One, of course, Jim Carrey's still the best part of this movie, like, this man's a legend. Tails and Knuckles were also pretty enjoyable to watch, and their characters stayed true to their dynamics. But the one thing that bugs me about this movie is the wedding plot. Like, when I was watching, I'm like, can we just get back to Sonic and his adventure, please? Like, I don't want to be a part of this wedding or whatever. I mean, it was fine. It just that was like could have been easily deleted from the movie. I don't think this movie's that very groundbreaking. I still thought it was really good and an upgrade from the first one. A tier. Next up is The Bad Guys. This movie was really interesting for me because out of all the companies to make this movie, it was DreamWorks. And when it comes to DreamWorks, it's usually a hit or miss. They can either put out a work of art or just crap sometimes. This movie was different because it was a fast-paced action heist movie. I found the heist scenes really interesting. It kind of reminded me of Mission Impossible. So he's in the animation's also fluid with the cool art style. Is the icing on the cake. Although the plot's very we've seen it a couple of times, like Megamind or something like that, and that a 2-year-old can basically understand this movie. It's, again, like Ambulance, it's an overall fun movie if you want to turn your brain off for an hour and 40 minutes. A tier. Next up is The Northman, a Viking revenge story written, produced, and directed by Robert Eggers, who, when they announced that he was going to be doing this movie, I was like, okay, why is he doing this movie? Because, like, his first 2 movies were horror movies, so why is he doing an action Viking revenge movie? And I was watching him like, okay, this guy can literally do anything. Anything. It doesn't have to be horror. When it comes to usual movies, like, directors, like, they usually have a tough time with action. Some do, some don't. But when it comes to Robert Eggers, I feel like he can just do anything he wants and gets it right. Very brutal, very violent. It's really not a movie that I'm going to be like, oh, I'm going to rewatch it a lot. It's just a really great movie, and I highly recommend you watch it. S tier. Next up is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now, this movie was kind of bizarre. It feels a little like straight ripped out of Rick and Morty in a way. It's basically about like this woman who's destined to be the savior of the multiverse. She's going through all these like different universes. And not to mention the VFX movie was entirely done by 5 dudes who just watched YouTube tutorials on it, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. It did, and I liked how the fact that the kid from Goonies, Indiana Jones League, came out of retirement to do this movie. I thought that was cool. I remember like winning like all the Oscars in 2023, and I highly recommend this movie. A tier. Next up is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Now, I love Nicolas Cage. I love Ghost Rider. I love Gone 60 Seconds, Con Air, Face Off, The Rock. I love all of those movies. And this is basically like a movie where Nicolas Cage plays himself, and a lot of people say he's lost his talent as an actor, and it's just so good. If you're a Nicolas Cage fan, you will definitely love this movie. I loved it, my uncle loved it, and that is why it is S tier. Subscribe.